Okay, everyone, welcome to the the road back down to 2000. As I don't think you can see actually, but it's just cut off. But the rating's down to 2198. Not been playing well. Essentially, been a whole host of things. One, I've not been feeling well, which has really not helped. One is the sort of new repertoire not coming to with it. So I'm getting into a lot of positions that I don't like and don't recognise. And yeah, I was just playing when I was on tilt yesterday as well. So I tried to play myself out of a funk and ended up dropping a massive amount of points. So here I'm expecting h6. So yeah, I only look at these systems against the Benoni and different things. Been a lot of e5 Benonis actually, when I don't exchange. And the structures. Oh, and I keep doing that as well, where I'm about to cancel a move and instead I play it. And it's fine because the move is not a problem. But I've done it in a few positions where I've played a completely losing move because I've been trying to cancel what I was about to play. But anyway, I was about to say, so these positions, I think are fine for white. So playing this h3 move to allow knight f3 is a slightly more active square than on e2. We have this backwards pawn on d6 for black. Usually the plan is to get some kind of a6, b5. You don't always need to play a6, you can sometimes sacrifice the pawn to get counterplay on e4. And again, this is one of those ones where you might be trying to do the same sort of thing. Here I think I can just take this though. So the idea is takes. That probably just about works. So if I took, then he takes on e4, and there's a discovered attack on the queen, and it's also check, which causes some issues. Here, however, can I just play this now? Takes, check, king moves, and then the line the rook's trapped. Let's see how this works. And if not, then I'll just castle and get a dodge. He's going to win a pawn, but I don't think it's overly critical. I also think if he takes the bishop, I might go knight d4 and keep the bishop from going back to g7. And then I'll argue that I've done something there. If he takes the queen, so I'm assuming he takes on c3, so he goes knight takes, b takes, if I was going to pre-move that. Knight takes, b takes, queen takes. And potentially I go c1. And yeah, I'll have some play against undeveloped pieces. And I'm really tempted to just play knight d4 here. Oh no, it's this pawn's uncarded. Oh, that's unfortunate. Because I wasn't worried about this, but queen takes d4 might just be fine. For okay, let's go here then. And take here. And let's argue that we've got full comp somehow. Queen takes a2, might go bishop takes g6. Like here. So wait, knight d4, queen takes, bishop takes g6, check. I can take here. Okay, so let's not do that. Let's just drop back. Open up something here potentially. Defend this. My next move could be knight d4. drops back, then let's take this, and we've got our pawn back. Then I'll make the space argument. So here, and the c3 I'm not too worried about it. And if he doesn't take, then I might go knight c6. Can't take on d4 because this hangs. Yeah, really not my best game. Those wondering, got a nice little Negroni. Gin Campari and vermouth. Nice and bitter cocktail. As I could drink these like water. I say that they are very alcoholic. Really should not advertise that. So here, is he trying to go into here? Bishop f6. So bishop f6. Knight d3 takes. Queen f3. Am I threatening this? Some invasions? Bishop h6. Let's go here. I might go f4 at some point. Maybe not actually. So here I want to play knight c6. And if knight takes, then I take here first. If knight b4 might just get away with it. But then I've got the bishop on this diagonal. That's quite good. So again, let's argue some compensation. Right, so knight d7, I actually didn't see that originally, but knight d7, knight c6. In actual fact, knight d3. Knight d3, knight c6? But yeah. So I'm trying to take in the knight c6. Queen a3, I suppose. So knight c6 first. Okay, so he just takes. So let's take here. I thought you might go for this, but what if I transfer over to the queen side, king side rather? I'm just going to look for queen h6. Knight d7. Let's go here. And then I'm going to play queen h6, if f6, then I think I take this. That might be premature. Might not even have to do that straight away. So queen h6. 6. So takes. Take. So what I'm thinking is bishop takes g6, h takes g6, queen takes g6. If you go to f8, in fact f8 or h8, then I play check. If you come out this way, I bring this in, and that's, if I know then I'll queen g7 mate, obviously. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying obviously. So that line's takes, takes, takes here, queen e7 mate. And if you go to h8 after all this, then I go check. King goes back, then I play rook c3 with the idea of shifting the rook across to join the attack. That looks good to me. Let's get another piece into the attack. His pawn's stopping and escape this way. And unless I'm missing something, this might be game over. Feels like I'm not missing anything. But 95 doesn't do anything. King running, just play a check first. Yeah. So here we play a check. Now the crucial moment is, I'm assuming he's thinking we're going to play check. In which case in here, in fact this doesn't even work either. It works better, because then you can sort of block on the side of the board. But the more simple way to do it is just play queen here. And now that's mate. Just as a reference, I think that there was a comment in our video about calculation and not really doing much calculation in short time controls. What I was discussing, what I was calculating here, I'd seen a few more moves than I said out loud. Because the awkward thing in doing these sort of videos is you're very often thinking about more than you're saying out loud. It's trying to, you're also thinking about what to say out of what you're thinking. But yeah, I felt good towards the end, but I suppose the computer will tell me otherwise. Okay, another messy game, which is sort of the theme of my chess at the moment. Got there in the end. So these colony structures, I have briefly looked at. So this was a move order thing. So I literally just looked at this and completely forgotten already. This is the sort of way my brain is. So I think bishop d3 is the main sort of move here, and then I sort of go bishop d3. I think it's bishop g5 next h3, and then I'm giving myself the option of, I'm probably putting the knight on f3, but I delay that until I'm forced to make that decision. So we ended up here, which is actually part of my theory, but just a different move order. c4, bishop c2, b5, and ahead. I love that I've got a note saying definitely not this because this is bad, which is obviously what I played. So there's a couple of moves. The computer I think quite likes castles kingside, which feels like it gets a little bit messy, but scores quite well. I might need to look at this because the line I have is a3, after which black's not trying to play a5 because now when you take, there's no queen a5 check, which helps things out a lot. So I think you're supposed to play a6 here, I believe. Maybe knight bd7, yeah. There's a few different moves. But I'll need to have a glance at this. But yeah, we ended up in this really messy position. I was considering a lot of different ideas where I give up my rook for this bishop, and I utilised the fact that this dark square bishop was defending a lot of squares around the king, but I couldn't quite find a way to do it well. So, in fact, even here, I think the computer wants bishop b7 just to go after this pawn on t5, because the c3 pawn can be picked up at black's leisure. So here I actually should get away with things. For example, here bishop a4 is what the computer gives, which makes a lot of sense. You're opening up bishop to a much better attacking diagonal. You're threatening this bishop in some lines, or this pawn in some lines. This knight's tied down to this rook. You can't defend with the rook because this bishop. So I think that there was some questions to be asked here of black. But obviously I played bishop b1. Just a little bit superficially looking at the king and defending this pawn, obviously. But as I was saying in the game, black is definitely better. I did feel like he was starting to lose the thread a little bit here. And here, I couldn't quite find the plan. And neither could I, actually. The computer is giving bishop d2, which is a really, a move I hadn't considered, but a really strong move. And there's just no way to sort of defend the rook, defend the pawn. The knight hangs, the queen takes the pot. So the computer actually gives bishop takes e5, bishop takes e1, bishop f6. And it gives this line where you go down the exchange. And yeah, this feels very, very close to, if not completely bust. So I was quite glad my opponent didn't find that. And yeah, here I start to become very, very comfortable. You can see the valuation jump. That's queen b6. Just give me sort of free reign. And the last chance for black was knight f6, I think, where there's a few different lines. The computer was actually given rook fe1. I think I was intending on playing f4 here, and just trying to, because if f4, f5 takes, then the bishop and the rook are lined up on this piece. I've still got ideas of stacking the bishop on g6, so that would have probably been my plan. I don't think the computer had any problem with f4, but after f6, we're feeling quite comfortable. And the last chance for black was this line king f7, where the computer gives a whole line, which we'll go through, where white's much better. I don't know what d7's doing at the end, but yeah, I felt like because of the initiative I had, I felt quite comfortable, especially if I'm getting the piece back. But opponent played king g8, and I'm just going to quite quickly play rook c3, rook e7. So what I think my opponent was looking at was after rook g7, king e8, queen h8, you have knight f8. I assume is what he was looking at, but here I think bishop f6, and I'm just completely winning. There's no way to stop. Well, you're either going to pick up this rook and then the queen soon after, or pick up the queen straight away. So I think the computer gives this is the best way for it to play it. But there was also a bigger problem of just queen g6. And after a king f8, rook g8 mate, or rook f7 here. But queen g6 is a little bit cleaner, and mate in 2. So in the end, nice attack, but yeah, was really touch and go. But hey, after the chess I've been playing the past couple of days, we take the wins when we can. So thanks a lot, guys, for watching.